1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and we are live. Well, hello everyone. It's Katrin and Seth, and if you're watching right now, and I know it's a different time than we normally or usually do, it's often 1 p.m., but I really wanted to do this one with Seth.
Hello.
Back at one point, and some of you might have the time to right now watch it. I know it's dinner time for some of you, and others are picking up children, and so on. But give me a quick. I can hear you because I want to make sure you can hear me. This is a really good. It's going to be a really sweet outlook or presentation of what we are doing here for you, and we, well, actually, how did we go about this? We are listening to many podcasts, I think, between you and me.
Yeah, so we have mentors ourselves. So we thought we'd lift up the hood of the car so you can see what's underneath. And there's a lot of exciting messages coming from some very experienced, very high-level people. And we want you to hear those messages because we want you to succeed. So that's what today is about. And the people that we just got done listening to were laying out what they foresee in 2023.
But not only foresee, I think, actually also what they think is a bit more human than we are used to. And you will see that throughout the slides as well. But I'm getting this stable, unstable connection here. Let me know. But I hope everything is going to work fine because we moved into a different corner of the house this time. So we both have a little bit space here since we are on one screen. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to put on our slides, and I would love to get any feedback and comments. So in between, I might go back to the comment section here. You all know we are using StreamYard, and so I cannot see the comments right when we are actually presenting, but make sure you ask your questions or comments or any ideas you really have. So from the bottom of our heart, we're going to start this slideshow. And let me see, it says here, no, we just need to, because we are on the same screen, present, share screen, you're gonna see the beautiful blah, 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 blah. There you go. Okay, so as you know, I love my Canva, and we're going to go into presenter mode. And yeah, so we do this every year. This is the third year, I think we're doing it actually. And this is our 2023 business advice, but also outlook. For the very first 13 slides, more or less 13 slides, you will hear the ideas or, well, I guess outlook from business experts we follow and we like and we appreciate. And I think if we wouldn't be listening to any of this advice, we would be pretty much working in a vacuum silo. So I think one message from us already to you is for sure is like, listen to podcasts that inspire you, read books that inspire you, not only aromatherapy books, by the way. I think you really got to go out into the world and listen at and look at different business models as well. I think that is already our first tip, but let's get started. So what we're going to do today is first of all the introduction of us here quickly one more time. And then we're going to look at our 13 business leaders we follow and we love. Then we have our own thoughts, of course, and there are quite a few. And then there is a chance to win one year membership to Blend Precisely, and also one year membership to our Business Growth Academy. But I will show that or explain that a little bit later. So stay on. That's going to last, or it's going to be at the end. So let's get started quickly. So who we are. So basically, you start that one.
I'm Seth. This is Katrin. But yeah, so we're the founders of Blend Precisely, and my wife is a certified aromatherapist and soon to be certified cosmetologist. So we work together to bring the technology and the business side of how to run an aromatherapy business. So
yeah, and Seth has over 30 years of programming skills that he brought to Blend Precisely, as many of you know. and my background is basically marketing and international business, and that's what I bring to Blend Precisely. And yeah, that's enough, I think, from us, right?
I think
Let's get
so.
started.
Yeah.
All right, first one up. Alex Catoni. I think she really tickles my heart.
Yeah, Alex didn't have a lot to say, but she really wanted to hammer home a significant trend change. And as you can read, she's saying you really want to be doing video. And I don't have the backstory exactly why she's saying it, but she's seriously an expert.
And she's super successful. So I always post it down here. Go ahead and follow them as well, Copy Posse. So basically, she does incredible video on Instagram. She's highly successful. She has a few courses, of course, herself. I really admire just the clean message she brings across every single video she puts out there. She's not only a beautiful woman, but she also takes care of her audience. So I really, really appreciate that in terms of video, and you have seen it in our membership as well, the business growth membership, I was encouraging others to do reels, and we also started reels, late in the game, but I was so occupied with doing my other 9 social media accounts. But reels really took it to another level. So going live, doing video, it does take it to another level. And I think it is because people want to see you. After the pandemic, after all of what happened, really, everybody hiding away, we have to start connecting again. And connecting to the global world, or to, I guess, globally, is not that easy. Obviously, in person, you cannot shake your hand of a future customer or anything else. So video is, I think, still one of the top. I would totally agree. So we only put things in here we actually agree with. So video is 100% business growth promise. So I think you got to get out there and do video and try it at least. Okay, so the second one is Patrice Washington, I think.
Yeah, Patrice had gone through a significant divorce, and she did a lot of kind of processing and describing her process on stage. And it really hammered home for her the need to let go of the things that just don't work. And so that translated into her business, and she realized that by not letting go of the things that don't work, you can't put your energy into things that do work. So
you know what is funny? That you mostly actually, you do know when things don't work. You just have a hard time letting go. You know when partnerships don't work, when relationships don't work, friendships, it. But
yeah, it's a bit of a process to let go, and we're not psychologists, but that the end goal is the same. Let go of your stuff, however you can do it. The things that don't work. So yeah.
You know what my dad actually said once? That was in one of my former businesses. He mentioned is like, how much good money do you want to throw after bad money? And so that is another thing which stuck in my head. Is like, how much more of your energy, time, and money do you want to throw after something that doesn't seem to work? So, take it with a grain of salt, of course, all of this, but it's a good idea to evaluate your business on things that work and that the ones that don't work. Dean, yes. So I didn't know actually, but he's the co-founder of mastermind.com. And if you haven't looked into mastermind.com, I love all these different classes they put together. Very professional. I mean, amazing content. But he's the co-founder. And yeah, have you ever had anything amazing happen in your life without being a little uncomfortable?
Right. So he's being very understated when he says this. So you'll see him and alongside of Tony Robbins talking about the good old days of how extraordinary you had to be to go on to infomercials on TV, and just the huge expense and work that and negativity and self-doubt that they had to overcome to make it happen. And for them today, it's so easy.
Way more than now, right?
Yeah.
Nowadays, I think it's a walk in the park almost.
Yeah, I mean, certainly for these guys, they can't believe that everybody's not doing this and trying to connect with people and grow businesses, because that's, for them, it's just obvious and easy. And I think we take it for granted. But coming from this guy who's hugely experienced, I think he's been doing it for like 30 years now. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think the fears that we have nowadays versus when you had to go out on stage and speak. I mean, they still do that, obviously, but there was not so much else before Instagram and Facebook and all of this. There was no trying out. There was your one-time shot. You went out on stage and you had to present something amazing to 1,000 people, and you could feel it in the audience.
Yeah,
right now,
the risks were huge.
Yeah, compared to now, it's like, go out there, risk something. Hardly anybody will notice that you're risk something and that you feel uncomfortable. So go out there and you think you feel uncomfortable, but most of the people will not even realize it, I think. All right. That is a little bit from my side. Because I used to do pattern design, and she does also courses, and that's why I'm following her. She's amazing. And I think she actually mentions here something really, really true. There's a huge chunk of our buyers who had been on our list for 2 years or 3 years or 4 years, maybe even up to 5 years before saying yes. Yes to your offer, yes to your products, yes to your consultation. So Bonnie Christine, I think, has been in the game for a really long time. She's a very talented surface designer. But just because somebody is on your email list or is following you and you think they are not buying, that doesn't mean they are not interested right now. But it could mean very well if you nurture them, if you give them beautiful content and so on. We talk about content creation and lead magnets and email sequences, the nurturing part. Then the buying can happen years after, she says.
Yeah, she actually ran a report on all the customers that had come in. And what she found was that it took 37 touch points before a customer would buy.
Right.
So a touch point is something like they see an ad on Facebook, or they respond to something on Messenger or some other, just whatever way. And I recently talked to a very high level sales guy, and he was just shaking his head about this. As so many people that they'll take 2 rejections and they'll give up on somebody.
Yeah.
And he says, for that, you will never ever succeed in business if you can't weather through or persist in communicating with people.
So important. And we see that as well, that we have our email list and there are plenty of people on there, but we continuously see the more we nurture, the easier it is actually to have them trust us, know us, and then also like us enough to buy something. So that's important. I mean, it's like building a new neighborhood. I always compare this to moving. So don't give up and do more of communicating and networking. Oh, Seth, you like Russell a lot.
Yeah, I like Russell a lot. He's just got this huge amount of energy and excitement for figuring out business. He's always testing and figuring out how he can help people and what works. So I think the most amazing thing about this guy is not so much what he says as just his drive and his push to keep going.
Yeah, he does not give up easily.
Yeah. So, but his message here is really relevant. And we've seen this time and again where
Can
somebody.
You read it?
Oh, yes, I should read it. If you're not marketing to people willing and able to buy your products and services, it's going to be hard for you to stay in business. So we've definitely seen people underselling themselves all the time. So if your target market doesn't have the money to buy for higher value, then you're cutting your legs off. And so there's a whole story about a large group of entrepreneurs that are approaching people that are not willing or they're not able to buy. And he's really pointing out you need this magic combination, willing and able. So that's the message.
Yep. Enough said. He's a good guy. All right. Well, definitely one personal of mine, Amy Porterfield. Really, really adore her and love her. And I love her mostly because of the systems she puts in place. She walks the talk and she puts system in place, and she doesn't give up easily on one system. She reevaluates a lot her systems. And what I mean by systems is basically no matter what you put out there, you will want to have systems in place for, like, how are you going to sell it, your marketing system or your sales system itself, your how you approach people's system, and so on. So there's like a whole category of system and tools you're using. But she basically says when people pay, they pay attention. So yes, you can give lead magnets and freebies away because you need to fill up your email list and you need to nurture your clients and so on. But you do, and it's a little bit, I guess, what Russell said as well, is a little bit along the line, you want to make money, and you can only serve people if you make money. Otherwise, you will need to give up the business. And when they pay, they actually have skin in the game, and they will, in that case, also pay attention. So I think that's important, that if you go out for a consultation, that you do not charge $25, because you will never ever make enough money. You will need so many clients. So make sure you pay what you're worth, or you ask for the pay what you're worth, and don't go below that. In the beginning, I do understand the first 10 clients, you probably want to get testimonials in and so on, but there might be then an exchange to everything. Right? So you give maybe a consultation for $25 for the first 10 times because you need some kind of a validation. And that's totally fine and normal in business, but do not do this for all of your years. And suddenly after 3 years, you're exhausted yourself. There's no money anywhere to invest back into your business or into you. So I think that's her message.
Yeah, I kind of want to highlight Amy here. One of the hardest parts about listening to other people or finding mentors is because is that it's hard to know who to trust. So there's certain people that we trust, and Amy's kind of at the top of the list. We've given Amy quite a bit of money to be our mentor, to teach us many things, and she's really delivered. She really cares.
We have given many people quite a bit of money.
Yeah,
but she's one of them.
What we're trying to share with you on these people that we're pointing out as these are trustworthy people, and we highly recommend that you look them up, study them, listen to them. They're at the top of the pyramid of people who know what's happening. They stay in touch with the market and trends, and they know how to play the game.
All right, content creator. So she says basically, Glow Atanmo. This is a great time for innovators and creators to double down and show up. And she doesn't say that because it's just a great time, but everybody is talking about the downturn of the economy. And I think you have a lot to say about it, but I keep it short.
I'll try to make this brief. So there's people that study business cycles, and one of the things that's not known very well is that at the bottom of a cycle, at the bottom of a recession or depression or whatever, that is where the greatest innovations of all time come from. So if you go back through all the different business cycles, it's very repeatable. And I'm not quite sure if this is where she was coming from, but what she's saying is really important. This is where you dig deep and you find the stuff that nobody ever did before. You connect in ways that you never have before. You're innovating. And that innovation is what drives the entire business world.
Right. And I think it might feel really difficult for some, especially when you're just starting out a business. And I think that is also something what you have to keep in mind. Being innovative in the very beginning of a business is probably somewhat more difficult. So I think it is okay in the beginning of the business to follow at least someone who made it in the business and make it your own. I don't think there's anything wrong in adapting something or from someone where you see it works really well. So if you're not the creative innovator, at least look at people, they make it in our business. You know, there are many aromatherapists that actually make it in business, and we will this year have also more interviews with them, and we'll dig a little bit deeper. But so if you feel like you're not an innovator right now, you don't have the money to be innovative or the time span, model after people you really think they made it and they are somewhat you're looking up to, basically.
Well said.
Okay. Jeff Walker, that is, he is like one of the most interesting, successful entrepreneurs I think I know. If I were to meet Jeff on the street, which I've never had the pleasure to meet him on the street, but I would say he seems like so down to earth. You can sit at a fire with him and have a glass of wine, and you would never think that he's a multi-millionaire, like incredible successful, because he's doing the product launch formula. He's got 2 books out there, Launch and Product Launch Formula. They are extremely successful, the books and the courses, New York Times bestsellers. So no matter what you're teaching, what you're training, this is a core thing. You're doing personal development because we are all in the market of providing change. And I think that is just so beautiful said. So no matter if we take that into our business, into the aromatherapy business, we are teaching, we are educating, we are helping, we are training, we are doing everything in terms of elevating somebody's pain or answering questions. So you are basically in some way, shape, or form in the personal development space and also in the coaching space on some level. So if you put the spotlight more on, how should I say that, more on an elevated position, you also will feel that you actually can take more money for it too, because you're not just thinking, oh, I just studied aromatherapy and I just got my certification and. Most of us studied it for a really long time, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and we really went deep and we continue to learn. But I think we are all in the market of providing change, and that is such a beautiful thing.
Yeah, Jeff really exemplifies the spirit of what a lot of these presenters were, where they're coming from, which is a really strong sense of serving. There's other ways to say it, but it's a common pattern that you hear them saying.
Mm-hmm.
And Jeff Walker is saying this in a non-obvious way, that we're all developing, including him, and he's trying to help people develop. And it's not just give me the money. That's the exact opposite of what everyone on the stage are doing. And it's a shocking statement that was never said in this entire presentation, but that is the very loud message that comes from Jeff in particular, which is we're here to make people's lives better. And that's what he means when he's saying you are doing personal development. It's not just you, he's the people that you work with, you are helping them. And there's a certain magic and something that goes beyond the money and the business.
So true. Yeah, I really like him. If you have a chance to grab his books, you should do so. He's amazing. Brooke Castillo, I feel like it's important for you to keep your head clear and to lead your people to their success. And she's a coach, and she sounds like a coach. And I think what I get out of this message the most is to have a very clear and straightforward message. Know who you are, know what you're capable of, and convey that message to your customers and to your clients. So I divide them up a little bit, but basically lead them to success, meaning be there for them with a very clear head. I mean, if you walk into a doctor's office, not that you are a doctor, but if you walk into a doctor's office, you expect somewhat of a professional way of, this is how far you can go on a personal level or on a professional level, and you get an answer if you ask a question. And I think that is somewhat a message in that way for me.
I got a little bit of a different message out
let's
of
hear
it.
it.
So keeping your head clear, it's really easy to be confused, to have doubt, to have negativity or listen to other people's negativity or news about the world or whatever to completely knock you out of balance. And it's particularly in these times, we have many things that could easily knock you out of balance. And stay centered, stay clear, push the stuff to the side so you can really do what you need to do. That's the message I'm hearing here.
Yeah, and that's just as good, I think, because it's really important to not eat garbage, I think. And we do a lot, right? Hanging out on Instagram. No, I mean, not physically, that too. By the way, we start a detox program in a few days. So happy we are doing that. But
Yeah.
I mean, in the space of our social media, just what we read and absorb every single day, we eat a lot of garbage, I think. Robert Hartwell.
We love this guy.
I want you to trust yourself and create containers where you can really connect with people, because I think we all get so many emails. Find ways to really talk to your people in a more intimate way. And I think he totally means it, and he totally walks the talk. So important in my perspective to connect to people again.
Yeah, there is another pattern here. All of them are understating something very loud here. So one of the problems, or one of the common patterns of inexperienced entrepreneurs is not is just trying to blast large audiences with some message, just broadcasting, and it doesn't work. What works is if you're really connecting with people, and there's a whole story around that and a lot more depth that we could go into about it. But he's basically, what he's saying is connect with people where they're at and communicate them in a way that is personal. In fact, Dean Graziosi was very clear about, like, pretend like they're your family member.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You really spent some time, like, what if you really cared about this person, what would you do?
If he would sit at your dinner table, what would you serve? And that is quite intimate. But yeah, I think he makes a point with it. And the same here is just, we have to find our group of people and we have to give them all our love and attention. Listen to them. All right, Jenna Kutcher. I don't know if you have ever met her or seen her, but she just brought a book out, I think like 4 months ago. How Are You Really? And that's her book title, How Are You Really? And she is a lifestyle expert. So when you go to her Instagram account, you basically will see her in a raw version over and over again. And I love that about her. If you can use your ad dollars to grow your email list, and then use your email list to serve and warm up your audience, it's going to pay you dividends. And I think that actually came across from everyone. We don't have it in here, but email lists was mentioned by every single one.
Yeah, use your Facebook to get emails. Use Instagram to get emails. Use emails to get emails.
Yeah.
Emails are the gold. That's what drives everything. It's changing a little bit. I was surprised. There's concerns about the younger generation not using email anymore, and I dove into that, and it's not really true.
No.
They do tend to use things more like chat apps and
when
SMS
they communicate
like
with each other, and we actually have young people in the house, so when they communicate with each other, they do use chats, and so we do we. I mean, we use WhatsApp and Messenger, but when it comes about writing emails to a school or an email to a business partner or so, it's always emails. But there is a little bit of a new trend, and it's emails and messages, actually. So SMS, you probably have seen that a little bit. People are asking for your phone number again, and that is just really something very strange to me, and I'm not sure if I like it or not, but that's a trend we're seeing.
Yeah, it certainly seems a little personal.
Yeah, because they're suddenly on your phone popping up, but you can get the same thing if you have an app. But anyway, yeah, so email lists are still like number one marketing next to many other marketing possibilities, but emails are still there. He was a fun, he's a nice guy. I don't know if you have heard about Hay House, but a lot of entrepreneurs published through Hay House. And Reed Tracy is the CEO at Hay House, and he's been there for like, what did he say, 40 years?
Yeah, really long time.
And I think he brought a cute message home.
And that message is, I promise no matter where you are in your business, you're doing way better than lots of people, and lots of people look up to you. So in our personal story, way back in the Wayback Machine, we actually had this experience of just getting into business in a very basic way. We were making these belts for women as a travel accessory. And there were people that were just absolutely floored that we were doing anything at all in business. So it's true. It's like wherever you are in business, you're going to be a step ahead of other people. So
and you should actually recognize that and pat yourself, I mean, on the back, because you took a big step towards not only learning a completely new career, most likely, a second career, but also twirling with the thought of creating a business, or you started one, or you're in business. That in itself is amazing. I think it's a beautiful adventure. It's a scary one, risky one, but you're way ahead than probably 95% of the people.
Yeah, there's an interesting story for those of you who know Louise Hayes. She was the
Are you a baby boomer?
I'm not. So yeah, so she was all about positive thinking and affirmations and visualization, and that was the genesis of the Hay House. And he took over, but he became the godfather of Hay House, and is quite the legend in the publishing business.
All right, well, here's Stu McLaren. Who doesn't know Stu, right? But if you don't know him, you got to look him up. He's probably the funnest, most personal, likable person out there, and he's the membership expert. What are we seeing is those who cater and tailor the content they deliver to their audience are very quickly separating themselves from the marketplace. And I think we heard that a little bit in a different way earlier
with Robert.
Yeah. So I think again, we are coming back to catering, to actually segmenting your audience, and catering specifically to the different audience segments. And that is important because not everybody knows everything about essential oils. So when you start out talking to people, you got to make sure knowing where they are so you can meet them with your message where they are at. And that is basically, if somebody starts out and has never ever heard about essential oils, you want to start out with safety and dilution ratio and all of that. But if there is a mother who has been using essential oils for 15 years, she is at a different level, and you probably want to reach her at a different level. So I think tailoring the content you're creating to this group of people, and that's why it's so important to have a really good email service provider, ESP, to start putting tags on your people so you know what kind of content they want to consume.
Yeah, that's called segmenting.
That's what I said 3 times.
Did you say segmenting?
Mm-hmm.
She said segmenting.
I did. Yeah, so we can go back later. I'm recording it.
We'll watch.
All right, well, so take that or leave it. So just quickly, these were the 13 experts we love dearly. We listen to Seth and I, as I mentioned in the beginning, we listen to many podcasts. We always exchange. We come back home. We're like, oh, I just listened to this and this person, or, and they said, and we're like, well, we should try that. And we have become big triers, right? If something doesn't work, we're like, okay, it didn't work, and then we move on. But I feel like the joy comes in trying things. And
I think that you have to be a little bit cautious. If you go around and consume kind of an odd story is if you go study Christianity and Taoism and Buddhism and all the different isms out there, you will be one very confused individual. Um,
Or not at all anymore
or
because you're
maybe,
not doing anything.
yeah. So in the context of business, you can easily become very confused listening to
Oh yeah.
everybody.
But I think that's what Brooke said, right? What you mentioned then is keep your head clear and don't eat all the garbage or eat too much of information. Try to focus back in what you're good and where you actually want. Basically, don't lose your direction by listening to others and implementing it immediately. But if you feel like something has been in the back of your head and maybe one of your mentors or so brings it back up, you might want to take a closer look at it.
Right. Yeah. I think our path through mentors has been very sequential.
Yeah.
There's
A lot,
somebody
true.
that Katrin in particular would just fall in love with, and we decided to follow through on it and see what they had to say.
Yeah.
And I think that's been a very successful path.
Yeah, that's true. So you take what you need for your business and then you move on. But as you can see, some of them, they are just incredible and they stick around with us. So we have some of our own thoughts. And let me just for a moment go back if there were any questions or anything coming up. No, nothing. All right. So, okay. So we're just going to keep on going for now. And I will share the screen again. And we are actually moving into our thoughts now. So let me just do.
We have our own thoughts.
We do. Well, we also have our own comments because we are German and half German here. So let me share our thoughts. We have a few slides, but not too many, and we are not stopping for too many. But I'm going to start with the first one. Aromatherapy is growing in many areas, and that is really, really true. I've been looking at statistics. I've been reading many different blog posts and so on. So take what you've learned and package it nicely with a clear message. Win the game, less is more. And that counts especially, and that's why I have the one product success roadmap. Don't overwhelm yourself with creating products and putting everything out in one sitting. And I think Seth just said it, go sequential even with those type of things. So when you're growing your business, try one thing out, but try it out for a longer period of time and then add it either or get rid of it if it doesn't work. So there is a huge market out there and it's growing exponentially. So I can only say, stay where you are. You're in the right market. Just package it nicely. Take beautiful pictures, get a really clear message. What do you do? And then go out and win the game.
Perfectly said. Stop procrastination. Leave perfection behind. You grow faster by making mistakes and trying out things that scare you, otherwise known as fail often and fail fast.
Yes.
So
fail forward is as well.
Oh, I've heard that one. Yeah, in the software industry, this is almost a mantra. It's like fail often, fail fast. And that's what little kids do. That's why they learn so fast.
Yeah. Say yes to collaborations and partnerships. Stop protecting your business like a watchdog when you have yet to launch. It's way too premature. So I think I was talking to actually Jackie quite a bit about it, how where our generation is so protective of our ideas and what we want to bring out in the market. And then we actually never get to bring it out into the market.
All good.
Because we're too scared somebody else will steal the idea. Well, guess what? Somebody else will have your idea just faster than you do if you don't go out. And something like you were thinking about will come out in 1 to 2 years. So say yes to collaborations and partnerships and sharing and listening to feedback is so important because the market is already extremely saturated. So protecting your idea or not going into partnerships because you feel like you're scared is actually a disaster and will limit your growth. So stop being a watchdog about your ideas. I mean, don't share it to the world, but share it at least to a few people where you think you feel safe.
Well said.
Thank you. You're so kind tonight. We should do that more often.
See, the next one is be part of communities that inspire you and help you move forward. I'm just going to stop with that one for right now. But both of us have lit up like light bulbs just by being around other entrepreneurs. There are all kinds of communities, either through meetups or online. Find them. You need energy and fuel to move forward.
So important. Oh my God. Yeah. I think that is actually one thing we are missing right now up here in New Hampshire a little bit, because in a city, the entrepreneurial drive is so much larger. And I think going out to just an art show and meeting other entrepreneurs, or going out to a restaurant and overhearing talks, or it's just missing here right now. But you got to find your people, and you got to go there and be there and stick with them, because it just really fuels you. So it says also, stagnation is death to any business. There are tons of beautiful communities. Nurture your senses. So basically, don't withdraw yourself from communities. Don't not go out. Do listen. Go meet people. Go to expert meetings. Go to any kind of network events.
Yeah, we've known a number of people that never took the first step because they were afraid to. They were just trying to do everything in their head.
Oh yeah,
which is death. You will never get anywhere, and you're just as you breathe with your body, the air that other people's are breathing in and out, or we live in an ecosystem, and to pretend like it's all going to happen in your head is madness, foolishness, and it's just not going to work. So yeah. So
find a mentor. You need a guide.
Yeah. So seriously, if you want to learn everything there is to know about health, and you do that as a way to heal and whatever you need to heal, that works. But it's a lot easier to go find a doctor or a specialist of some sort that you're okay with.
You're speaking from your heart, right?
I am. I've definitely taken the hard path. And it's like I've built up a lot of scar tissue in my calves because I was too proud to go get a running coach, for example.
Yeah.
I've got lots of examples, but at the end of the day, it's just better to pay somebody. Pull out your wallet, pay somebody. They know better, and they will get you to where you want to go faster.
Way faster. You will not, I think you will just not, maybe it doesn't seem like this and it's hard, but every now and then we did pull out the credit card to pay for a mentor, and then obviously we pay back. But it's important that you know where to put your money. And if something brings you in 3 months to your goal instead of 2 years, well, in fact, at the end of the day, you will save money and make more money. So find a mentor. You need a guide in some way, shape, or form. And there are advisors actually out there. They don't cost anything. You can find a mentor or an advisor. People like to help. So just ask someone, or come to the $9 membership we have. Really, seriously.
You may notice that there's two sides to this coin. One, you give, and the other, you need help.
Yeah.
So that's breathing. You're breathing the business.
We have a few more. Stop hiding. In-person workshops, teaching, events, going live on social media, whatever it takes to show your face. People are hungry to connect with you as a person and business owner. And you will notice the difference if you were to only post your product photography versus you going live. Check out where you get most of your likes. The same when you're on your personal account. If you put something political out there, or if you put your cute little daughter with a dog out there, you will get way more likes than putting a political message out there, right, Seth? So it's incredible. People want to see you and want to feel you. You're next.
She's poking me.
Stop comparing.
Stop comparing yourself. It takes away from who you are and what you have to offer. You know enough. So there is competition. There are always people better than you, guaranteed. And there are definitely people worse than you.
Guaranteed.
So the only person that you need to compare yourself against is yourself.
Yep.
Are you doing better today than you did yesterday?
Yeah, that I would agree. Move your business into the 21st century. Online education is huge. Having your business information easily accessible is a must. On the go is here to stay, like it or not. And what I mean by this, if you still don't have a working website that looks good on a phone or somewhere else, if you don't have your offers clear with a clear message on your website or on your social media accounts, change that. Good pictures, clear message, short messages, and you have to move it. I mean, there is nothing worse than going to a website and it looks like a typewriter wrote the message in 1991.
Double spaced.
Triple spaced, and on top of that, ugly color combinations. Oh my God, stop that. Move into the 21st century, please. My photography heart will thank you for that. Yeah.
Create a high enough profit margin so you can invest back into your business. No scraping by anymore. So there's a balance point with this. Obviously, if you charge too much, nobody will buy. If you charge too little, nobody will believe you. Then they'll look at you as if you're, well, not worth investing in. So did I nail that one?
Yeah, exactly. So you need a profit margin to invest back into your business. And yes, if you sell lip balms for $4.50 and you know how to sell, let's say 10,000 of them, you will have a good profit as well. But that's really, really hard. Now, if you sell your lip balm for $6.50, you only need to sell 4,000. So you can actually use your energy for something else and invest it back into the business or add another product. Yep. Create a system as soon as you can. Know the tools you need to save time and focus on what matters to grow your aromatherapy business. The world needs you and not your time wasted on unnecessary things. So what we learned early on is basically that having a system in place, like your emails, where do they come in and out? How do you do your bookkeeping? How do you do your blog posts? How do you create product descriptions for your images? How do you do your photography? All of these things, figure them out, make a list, figure them out, and put them into place. You can adjust later. Start with what you have. I always think that for sure too, but make sure that if you see something is taking your time away, for example, using Excel spreadsheets and doing all of this big crazy stuff instead of Blend Precisely, you're wasting time. So get the right tools into place and you can actually make more money then. So that's basically, you got to have a system like a well-oiled machine. You don't want to have a car running on two tires.
Yeah, it's a bit of an art form. So we're currently living in a renaissance of tools that take care of many things for you.
You don't need all of them.
Exactly. We once upon a time we had a Shopify website, and each of the apps that you can use to make your life easier cost an increasing amount of money.
Yeah,
and
we ended up 160 instead of 29.
yeah, so it's like you can completely kill your profits if you go down that path too far. But there's so many excellent tools. Like we're using StreamYard right now, which is an amazing tool that does so many things, and we won't go into it. But
yeah, but it's important to have the tools in place. And some smart woman told us that 14 years ago now, or 13 years ago on a trade show. We still remember that. Okay, so last slide. Psychographics is another way of finding your ideal client, health conscious, interested in sustainable living, skincare, minimalism, and so on. So we hear a lot about demographics, but now they are actually talking about psychographics. And I think that works so well with our aromatherapy business. And we are looking for people that are in the zone of being actually interested in healing, in health or sustainability, in any of these things, because these are the people we probably want to talk to. So we got to find not people that are between 15 and 20 or 25 and 35. We want to have a good mix of psychographics and demographics, basically.
right. So everything changes. What was popular yesterday is not popular today.
And we have to keep up.
And it's important to stay relevant.
Okay, next.
I'm supposed to read now. Backing up your claims with research data whenever possible. Links to research will make you stand out from the crowd. Yeah, we live in an era of opinion on the news and everywhere else, and there's not a lot of people backing up what they say or finding a way to build trust that you actually know what you're talking about. So at Blend Precisely, we go a little overboard with that. We provide quite a bit of background and research based on Tesserand and other people.
But I also mean actually when you create a recipe and you claim it to be blah 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 blah, let's say, do see if you can find every now and then a research link to whatever you mentioned, because not most of the people, 99.9% of the people don't do this. The people that are selling essential oils or in the business with essential oils. So if you just add this little, well, it does take some time, but you can build your own directory slowly. If you add that piece of information, you will immediately elevate your entire presence on the internet. All right, last one. Millennials are quickly becoming, if not already, the biggest consumer of essential oil products, not the baby boomers anymore. So something interesting I read, the baby boomers brought up the essential oils and they were in love with the essential oils and they tickled and brought everything. But really the consumers right now are the millennials. So we have to think a little bit. So that's basically, what is it, 1982 to 1994 or something, whoever was born in that time range, because they are extremely health conscious and they are all about minimalism. So if there's a group of people purchasing oils, that would be the millennials. Now, if you're in business already since 20 years and you're sitting there right now, it's like, well, that's not my problem because I've got my customers. I think that's totally fine. But for everybody who's starting out with the aromatherapy business, you got to look at the crowd that is actually buying your products, not the age you are, not the person who is telling you they are doing it since 30 years. That is the business or the crowd they are following. You got to find your own people. And that means going into maybe the younger crowd. That means the younger crowd is watching videos. So you got to do videos. That means maybe you got to be somewhere with, a website that is readable on an app or something else or on a phone. So you have to live up to the expectations of your customers in some way, shape, or form.
Right. And if you're not at that point with your business where you know who that is, it's absolutely critical to find out who you want to work with and who would buy whatever it is that you're creating.
And that can change at a later point too, or add, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
All right, that's it with our thoughts. We said we are going to have something to win. And for that reason, I want to just quickly show we do have Blend Precisely, our software tool, and that is the one which calculates everything perfectly in seconds and minutes, and it gives you safety information. And also we are working with the Kelly Abla from the Airmed Institute. Sustainability is big, so we are really seeing that this app is fulfilling multiple things at the same time, saving your time, giving you exact costs, giving you dilution ratio, and giving you everything else. So that one we're going to give away today for 1 year. And I'm going to explain this in a moment. And then the other one we're going to give away for a year is our business growth membership. And that is basically bite-sized modules. And we have over 30 right now. We are adding every month a new masterclass. We are live on Zoom calls. We're having just a ton of fun. It was so beautiful. We just had our first Zoom call this year on Monday. And it was just really, really beautiful. So what I'm doing is I'm basically trying to always stay up to date and deliver the latest and greatest strategies and templates and business tips and everything else into this business growth membership. Now, this one is normally $9 a month, but we will give it away as a yearly one in a second. And this is how it works. Ready? Okay, so number one is write down on a piece of paper what you basically want to commit to this year for your customer or your business, or what you've maybe learned from this entire slide deck, what stuck out to you. Then I want you to take a photo of your commitment write it down on a piece of paper, snap a photo, post it to your Instagram feed, and then tag us at Blend Precisely down here. Tag us, and then we will take everybody who tagged us in your commitment on your photo on your Instagram account. We will draw the winner on Friday morning. So go out, do it right now. Think about it for a moment if you want to, but then you most likely you will not go back. Right now, take a piece of paper, write down your commitment to yourself, to your business, to your customers for this year. Take a picture, put it onto Instagram, on your Instagram account, and tag us. And we will draw two winners. So one for the Blend Precisely yearly worth $160, and one for the business growth membership value of $98. And we will give that one away. So take a screenshot of it and do it. If you don't, Sylvia, if you do not have an Instagram account, that's fine. Use your Facebook account and tag us there. I will do that because it's you, Sylvia. So take the Facebook and then do tag us with @Blend Precisely there. Okay. I will definitely take that one too. All right. I guess it's time to get one. Yes. So go for it. And then again on Friday, I'm going to have a live session Friday morning, and we're going to draw the winner, Seth and I. That's it, my ladies and gentlemen, if there are any. You are here. I'm going to stop the screen sharing. And there are a few comments. Yeah, Sylvia, my go-to community for inspiration and support is aromatherapists in business. You two are such amazing people. Thank you for this 2023 update. It was rekindled. Oh, it has rekindled a new fire in me. Yes. That's great, Sylvia. I'm so glad to see you here. And I'm getting really, really warm. And so on, but I'm not going to go any further. Or should I? No. So yeah. Yeah. So if you don't own an Instagram account, do the other one, do Facebook, tag us so we know that you took a picture, you thought about it, you had an idea. All we want for you is go forward in your business. Don't stop, because I think what we have to offer, again, is so, so important. So definitely go forward. Natalie, you're so welcome. I mean, you're a gem in the industry yourself. So thank you for doing what you're doing. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Have a wonderful Wednesday evening. Karin from Denmark, are you awake? I'm sorry. No, Denmark. Yeah, Copenhagen. You must, that's like really late. Go to bed. Nice to see you. All right. Well, you can rewatch everything else. Yes, awake. You're amazing. Rewatch everything if you like. Send us, tag us, and we will draw your name on Friday.
Happy New Year.
Oh, yes. Happy New Year. See you soon. Okay. Love you all. Bye.
Bye.